Every religion has said that you seek yourself. So there was nothing wrong with all the prophets, incarnations, all the saints. They all said the same thing. But we have missed the point. Everything has become either money-oriented or is an intellectual probing. It is through intellectual probing you reach a point where you realize that you have not reached the reality. So what should we do? And this is a very great gift of modern times, which was promised long time back. It's described already in our Puranas that at the time, these modern times called as Kali Yuga, the Parama Chaitanya or this all-pervading power will become active. Means there is Kruta Yuga, it will become active. And through it, thousands of people will get their realization. Even in the Bible, they have said that it's quite a limited number. John has written in his Revelation, it's quite a limited number, but we have already crossed that. And so many people have to become realized souls. It's very important today, and it's so easy. Sahaja. Saha is with, Ja is born. Born with you is the right to become one with the divine, united with the divine, that is yoga. Yoga is nothing but to be united with that divine power. That's what yoga is. All other things are subsidiary. This union brings forth new dimensions on our central nervous system. As an evolution, we always develop a new dimension. By this, you develop a new awareness of collective consciousness, by which you can feel other people, their centers. Sitting down here, you can feel the center of somebody who is dead. Even you can feel his centers and find out what he was. Was he a realized soul or not? You can find out about anybody, whether he was a realized soul or not, sitting down here. You have to just think about it, put your hands. If you are a realized soul, you can feel on your fingertips what is the problem. And somehow if you know how to correct those problems, you get rid of your own diseases and the diseases of others, your own problems and the problems of others. First you enter into a state of mind which we call as thoughtless awareness. When you cross this center of Agya, that is placed in the optic chiasma, you become thoughtlessly aware. You are aware, but there is no thought. What a blessing it is.
Sahaj Yoga, as we know, is a spontaneous union of the individual consciousness with the divine power through the awakening of our Kundalini, which many times remains dormant in our system. Mataji, it's a pleasure to talk to you right in your home turf in New Jersey. And tell us, I know last 4 years ago I met you, it was a great experience, and I want to tell our viewers again what it is all that you've been doing, promoting Sahaj Yoga for the last 30 years now, all over the world. Tell us again briefly for viewers who don't know what Sahaj Yoga really means and signifies. What does it do and how do we get that absolute knowledge through this discipline?
Saha means with, Ja means born. Is born with you the right to get this yoga is the union with the divine. So this is your birthright. All human beings have this right to get the awakening of their Kundalini, by which they become one with the divine power. This is the real yoga.
Right. And as I said, Even the ancient sages and astrologers, Bhrigu Mani talks about it, and you've written in your book also, Meta, the
Yeah,
modern
yeah.
era, yes.
They all have talked about it. But in those days, they used to work on about, say, thousands of people, then select one of them, then cleanse them, and then they used to give them realization. Now the difference of this modern Sahaja Yoga, you can call it, is
Right,
this,
yes.
that you first give them awakening. Let them see for themselves what's wrong with them. All right. Once they find out, let them correct themselves. And then it's perfect. Because if you try like this, then it will take thousands of years to give realization to many people. With this method, you can give collectively to thousands of people realization. Now we have to change the world. And how can we do it on individual basis if you go? This is the best way now. Thousands are getting realization all over. And now they are telling me it's in 86 countries working out. So we are going to have a global race, we can call it a global awakening, which is very important. And without this awakening, we cannot get transformed. This is to transform, to completely change.
Realization cannot be traded. It's not a business. It is something innate and living process. Just like a seed sprouts, this happens to you and you become a self-realized soul. As a result of that, as I told you, your awareness becomes collectively conscious. You start feeling the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost coming out of your head. And also you feel this all-pervading power as cool breeze in your hands. Then when you start practicing it a little bit, your connections become settled with this all-pervading power. Then such a person becomes very peaceful and very dynamic, extremely dynamic, untiringly he can work. He is never frustrated, he is never angry, he is never upset. He becomes very peaceful and extremely compassionate. But the compassion is such that it acts. Even a glance of such a person acts on the being, and it brings forth the benevolence of others. This is for the benevolence of others. Unless and until this happens, you are not a Sahaja Yogi, nor you are in the right place. Now in Sahaja, Saha means with, Ja means bond. Bond with you is the right to be one, united with this divine power, which is the yoga. This is the real yoga. All other yogas are subsidiary. They help you out here. And those people who do artificial yogas do not achieve anything. Once this happens, the transformation takes place. I have seen people becoming very beautiful and so great that one day will come, this world has to change, and we all will be filled with that feeling of collective consciousness, where we'll all feel that we are belonging to one personality, part and parcel of one personality, the microcosm, the parts of a macrocosm. This has to happen. Many people are talking about him, hinting about it. As they say, it's the age of Aquarius. That's a fact. Aquarius is the Kumbha, is the one is the picture which is where the Kundalini is placed. And that's why it's the age of the Aquarius. They talk about it. They get the glimpses, but they are not there. We have to be there. For that, you don't have to pay. But little time has to be given. Within a month, I'm sure, you can become masters of that. And all your problems should be solved, your physical, mental, emotional.